we are going to cover the human and artificial intelligence. So we will see what is human intelligence. So human intelligence in nutshell comprises of IQ, which is information quotient, and EQ, which is emotional quotient. So it comprises of objective and subjective ways of handling and managing the situations. So we will talk and discuss about it. And we will also look at the definitions from dictionaries and encyclopedia about what is the human intelligence all about. We'll see the history of intelligence as it was given by Aristotle, who was the Western philosopher. He is considered as one of the fathers for putting the ways of understanding and how human learns. So he is one of the great researchers, scholars, scientists, as we call, and a great contributor for making the foundations for present world AI. So he provided the information from the perspective of how the natural sciences has evolved, how the object-based learning happens in human, and he also provided few of the aspects of scientific methods of learning and the elements of learning from experience. So we will talk and discuss about Aristotle as well. And as we also look and see, we will discuss about some of those industrious things based on the industrial revolution. What are the universal design principles? We will try to cover those aspects as well. And we will try to look into the aspects of emotional intelligence as well. So we will also try to see and define what is artificial intelligence. So we'll try to look at the definition of artificial intelligence. We will see the overall history of artificial intelligence. So how the Turing machine, which has happened in 1950 by AI Winter. So that's the history of artificial intelligence. So we have talked about how the machine learning capabilities has developed over a period of time from the kind of experiences. And then we have talked and we will be discussing about what is digital human. So it's all about having the cognitive simulations and the kind of modeling the brain aspects of it. And we will discuss the aspects of deep learning and the neural network as well. So these are the elements of the discussions which we are going to have in the artificial intelligence. So let's try to look into the definitions now. So let's try to look into the dictionary definition of intelligence, how the IQ and EQ have been discussed and being looked upon from the part of various aspects. So how IQ have been uh, formulated. So if you see Oxford Dictionary, according to Oxford Dictionary, IQ is defined as the quickness of understanding. So it's defined as how quickly you are able to process the information. So how quickly the collection of information can be handled and managed by humans. So people try to correlate IQ with the kind of level of wisdom a person have and how quick a person is able to process the overall information. Similarly, if you look at the Cambridge International Dictionary, so it mentions that it's an ability to understand and learn and try to make judgments and have the kind of opinions based on your reasoning. So the most important aspect of when Cambridge Dictionary talks about is the concept of understanding, learning, and making the judgment. And based on that, you will have the opinions which should be based on the reason. So these are the important aspect: understanding, learning, judgments, opinion based on the reasoning. So that's what Cambridge mentioned about IQ. Similarly, how the Wikipedia defined. So Wikipedia says that it's a problem solving, reasoning, self-awareness, it's creativity and the emotional knowledge. So Wikipedia tried to analyze IQ and EQ as it's an ability to solve problem and how emotionally strong and having the level of self-awareness you have when you're trying to solve these problems. So if you want to go deeper, you can always refer to this video and a small essay by Britannica. So this can be a handy document for you if you are trying to look at the IQ and EQ concept. So in a nutshell, as we see, it's all about learning from the experience, adapting it across, understanding, and finally being able to handle abstract concepts, should be able to manipulate our environment. So that's how IQ and EQ have been defined by various entities. So it's all about learning from the experience, try to use abstract concepts, and then try to adapt and try to manipulate the environment around based on the kind of learning which you have gathered. So let's talk about Aristotle. So as I said, Aristotle was one of the great Western philosopher or scholar or scientist, as we call it. So he existed during the time span of 364 BC to 322 BC. So he only was there for 42 years, but in that 42 years span of life which he has put in so many concepts in terms of how human learn. So he has put the foundation for, so he has written about various aspects of how learning happens. So he has put how so he was one of the first person to write about the concepts of object, and he basically laid the foundation of the science called ontology. So what is the science of, or what is the science of nature of being, how human learn, how the knowledge flows across, how the concepts of engineering are getting built across. So he is one of the person who's considered as father for ontology, which is one of the sciences for nature of being. So he gave the concepts of scientific methods of learning, how humans learn. So what is the way of critically thinking and looking about these. So he was one of the first person to write and discuss about the concepts of object. So as we see and as we teach some of the concepts of natural sciences, data sciences, computer sciences, social sciences, or AI, so these are the genesis and origin of all these things can be dated way back to the aspects of ontology which has been provided by this great Western philosopher. So Aristotle, as we call him, can be considered as a father of making us understand how the knowledge or how the concept of learning happens in humans.